Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over my book haul. Just to preface, I did buy these books over the course of about 2 months or so it was definitely not an all at once thing, but enough talking, let's get into the book haul. I'm so excited. Okay, the first book I'm going to show you guys is going to be the second book in a series, the first book being This Woven Kingdom, the second book being These Infinite Threads. Now this is the same author who wrote the Shadow Me series, and they are both just amazing. This series though follows a servant girl who is thrown into a lot of political issues and prophecies somewhat against her will, and we watch as she struggles to juggle the politics of it all, the weight of a kingdom, and a budding romance. It is YA, so the romance in question is not anything beyond a few yearning looks, supposed kisses, things like that. But it is still great. I'm typically someone who does not enjoy romances that aren't on page and full force. I am not a big lover of slow burn, but this right here, the yearning was serving. I think that it kind of changed my perspective about it. I think a lot of the books that I read that are slow burn, the yearning isn't giving what it needs to, but this right here is my sweat. It did what it needed to do. I would 100% recommend this series. The next book is going to be A Letter to the Luminous Deep. Essentially in this story, we have two scholars that go missing while on a little ocean expedition while they were searching for something they had never heard of before, which was extremely interesting to read about in the beginning. I love the ocean and stories about the ocean as well. Two scholars go missing during a mysterious ocean expedition, and their siblings are uncovering the truth about what occurred through correspondence. So we're reading different letters be exchanged between said siblings, and we're seeing what happened between the initial main characters, I guess you could say, in that ocean expedition and what happened between them. So far, so good. I do love a good letter exchange between characters when reading a book. So far, 10 out of 10 as well. Loving it. The next book is going to be The Lies of Locke Lamora. And I have started this as well, I will say. Just to give a little bit of background as well, this book is a little bit older, I think, than people would initially assume. We got a reprinted cover. The initial paperback, I think, fits the vibe of the book a little bit more, but I understand why it was reprinted and why it looks as it does. I'm about 40 to 50 pages in so far, and I'm hooked. I love the way that the author writes. Within this book, we have a clever thief that runs cons in a beautifully built fantasy city. We've got found family, witty dialogue, as well as dangerous schemes. For me, so far, it's reminiscent of Pirates of the Caribbean, Catch Me If You Can, and Ocean's 11, I would say, especially with the found family aspects. For those of you who recognize those movies and such, that's what it is kind of reminiscent of to me. You could also probably find similarities with Six of Crows, but I would say very loosely at the moment where I am, because again, I'm not that far, but it's quite good so far. The next book is going to be Problematic Summer Romance. And of course, for those of you familiar with Hazelwood, you know that this is a STEMinist novel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
We are following these two characters as they are in a forced proximity sort of situation. We have age gap, Hazelwood's signature banter, as well as nerdy tension, which I am oftentimes a fan of. I will say I usually haven't loved her books in the past outside of Bride. That could be because I lean more towards the fantasy side of things, but when I was reading books like The Love Hypothesis, it wasn't really for me. It wasn't leaning towards my preferences in writing, but I'm still willing to try. I love the idea of loving her books, which probably isn't the best, but it's just honest. It is what it is. I have Check and Mate on my shelf as well, which needs to be read, and this, which is also being added to the TBR as well. I think I'm going to enjoy it just because of the nature of the story, but we'll see. We shall see. The next book is going to be Dragonfall. Okay, I'm gonna read the excerpt on the back because I think that could potentially be enough to sell you. Long ago, humans betrayed dragons, stealing their magic and banishing them to a dying world. Centuries later, their descendants worship dragons as gods, but the gods remember and they do not forgive. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Yeah, it looks like a quick read. Maybe I'm tripping. It looks very short. 336. I think it'll be a good, like, in between. I don't usually read books of this variety, if that makes sense. It looks like it leans more fantasy, less romance. I'm usually preferably in the middle or more romance leaning than fantasy. And for a quick summary, it's going to be about a fallen dragon god who ends up locked in the body of a human. The next book is going to be The Fatal Kiss. Now let me show you real quick the dust jacket with it on and off. This is going to be the cover with the dust jacket on. Just love how that looks. I was not showing you fully before. Apologies. Definitely beautiful. Oops, I just lost my page. Great. Okay, this is the dust jacket off. And then there. Whoop. The inside, plain white. Honestly, what caught my eye was the cover of the book. I love how the art looks. It's kind of, it reminds me of old school fairy tale books, which I love. Oh. We have a water nymph who kind of needs a bit of rescuing, and then we have also a kind of hunter, so to speak. I believe this does include polyamorous relationships, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm gonna need to read it, investigate, take my time assessing, and I'll get back to y'all. But I'm excited nonetheless, especially because the few pages I did read, it does have that classic fantasy vibe. The cover does not lead you astray on that, so far at least. So the next book is going to be The Last Tiger. Let me go ahead and show you guys the dust jacket on and off as well. This book is gorgeous as well. So we have this as the cover. And then the back. Hopefully y'all can see it okay. Dust jacket off, very, very cool. We have this. Then we have this. Inside has, yeah. The cover drew me in as well, and what's interesting is that this is written by 2 authors. I feel like that would drive me a little crazy, so I'm curious to see how it goes. I always wonder when I'm reading a book that's written by 2 authors if you can like tell when the switch occurs. You know, like when you're reading, I think it was Zodiac Academy, I feel like maybe there's a little bit of difference in the writing, but maybe that's just me imagining. So this story is about a young girl who forms a bond with the last wild tiger in a dystopian society where nature is falling apart by the seams. So very, very interesting. One of the books that got me into reading when I was a kid initially was about a tiger. I kind of have a soft spot for them, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's weird. And then, you know, it just seems like a really good book, so there's that as well. Okay, the next book, I'm gonna show them as a pair because they are literally part of the same series and they both look super, super cool. It's gonna be, oof. Four Ruined Realms and 3 Shattered Souls. Let me show you the second book in the series first. The first book in the series is 5 Broken Blades. So this is the second book in the series. Beautiful cover. This is the back. We are following 5 deadly outcasts, each with their own secrets and grudges. and they're recruited for a nearly impossible mission to assassinate the corrupt king in their land. Wait. Look at that. It sounds like not enough, or not a lot rather, but it's probably just because of how I'm explaining it. So I did actually start to read the first book in the series, and I'm already falling in love with it slowly but steady. It seems like a book that's accessible for a lot of people. The reading isn't super convoluted. It's very consistent pace so far. I love how they're so similar. The first book copy that I have is like this as well. That's kind of why I wanted to go ahead and get it despite not having finished it, because I just like how they're all similar. I love that. But yeah. 3 Shattered Souls. I'll show you them side by side. I feel like a book like The Lies of Lamora is a little bit harder to get through, especially for most people. This is not like an average book that I would recommend so far with how the writing is, but this book is, and it seems good as well so far. I'm definitely enjoying myself, definitely having a good time. Yeah, this is them side by side. I wish I wasn't so lazy and that I went to go grab the first one, but I am. I'm sorry, but it's okay. Yeah, that is so cool. All of it is beautiful, basically, you know? Okay, 3 more books to show you guys. Let's wrap it up. This one is a box set that I got as a gift. It's gonna be the Bone Season. Okay, so really fun fact before we continue about the Bone Season. The author released this book, right, obviously a while ago, and she didn't like it, so she ended up rewriting it and re-releasing the first book in the series. The rest of them, I believe, are as they were when she originally released them, but the first book is different. I've always thought it would be so cool to go to a library and hunt down the first book, the original copy, and see if there are any noticeable differences, but I need more time for that. Yeah, and I haven't even read this yet. I want to dive in, get settled. I did preview this book on Kindle Unlimited just to see if I would like the writing style, because that is so important for me, most people I reckon, and it was good. It was great. It was perfect. So I asked for the box set as a gift, and they delivered. Yep. They're cute. I'm slacking. Let me show you outside of the box set. Okay, wait. You guys should see this. It's kind of satisfying. I'll catch them before they fall, I promise, but I just want to show you guys. Okay. Make sure they have a... love that. Okay. Let me show you how the covers look, because they are so gorgeous. We have the first one, showing you upside down, the mask falling. I love the color scheme that they did. Very nice. The song Rising. She's kind of skinty compared to the other books. I'll show you in a second. Okay. And the mime order. Okay, let me show you more in-depth view real quick, and all of them together, they look like this. I have a feeling already that I'm going to love this series, and I hope that feeling is correct, because I have the whole series. The mime order up close. Let me not put that there. The song Rising. I love how this book feels. Author's preferred text. Fully revised with new material. It's so weird how they all say, let me fact check this real quick, because I thought it was only the first book, but now it's seeming like all the books have been revised, but I don't think that's true. They all say it though. Do you see that? fully revised with the author's preferred text. Let's investigate. Wow. Okay, so this was revised in 2021. These were revised. The last three, well, slightly revised and then re-released. That's crazy. Imagine going back. I feel like that's quite a bit of work. Okay, but that's spectacular. Let me slow down. Okay. That's the main reason why I want to read this series. I feel like with that much work and time put into this for a second time, it's gotta be magnifique. You feel me? Okay. Look at that. They're gorgeous. Okay. Next up, last two books, same author. Yeah. It's gonna be these two. And I am kind of attempting to get all hardcovers for the books that I want to read of hers. So I have The Nightingale already, hardcover, of course, obviously. And then I got these as well. Let's get into the summaries. So this one, the bare bones of it sounds quite similar to The Nightingale, but of course there's going to be differences. This one is going to be a historical fiction about strength, sisterhood, and finding your voice during turbulent times in America. The summary alone is enough to sell you. The first sentence, women can be heroes, literally just makes my heart so happy. So I had to make a purchase, because why not? How could I not? As for this book, let me see if there's anything totally slacking. This one is plain underneath the dust jacket. It's still really cute. I like it a lot. Let me look at the other one. Plain as well, still gorgeous. So this is set in Nazi-occupied France, and we are kind of reading about a woman forced to live a lie, and it's also got kind of hints of like a murder mystery set throughout it. People who are hunting for the same thing as our main character, and the lengths they'll go to get it, as well as our main character. So we're kind of going through a little bit of like a historical fiction, murder mystery sort of story, which sounded really good. I think these ones probably, well, like this as well as The Nightingale wouldn't seem so much like my cup of tea, but this one with the murder mystery aspect woven throughout it would definitely be a book that I'd probably read faster than this and The Nightingale. But yeah, that is it for my book haul. Please let me know if you guys have any preferences, recommendations, tips, yada yada yada, etc., for what you think I should read next, or the order. Anything would be great. Any advice, I would love that personally. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a spectacular rest of your day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all. Thank you for watching.